What's going on, lads and lasses? Welcome back to 100% Mag. So this is your match preview for the game against Leicester down at the King Power Stadium tomorrow night, live on Sky Sports, 8 o'clock kickoff. But before we get into that, a word from my sponsor, Stocks FC. Of course, the link will be pinned down in the comments down below and in the description. Press on the link to get the deal, and the deal is spend £10, get £30 in free credits, and when you sign up, you will also get five loan players to start off your portfolio with. Now, basically, Stocks FC, if you don't know what it is basically a stock market, but for players. So kind of like FIFA or EAFC cards, but in a stock format. And what happens is when the player scores, then you earn real cash for the players. So that link will be down in the comments below, pinned to the comments below. Press on the link to get the deal. Spend £10, get £30 in free cash, and 5 free loan players when you sign up by the link down in the comments below or in the description. So moving on with the video, we will now talk about, of course, the match preview for the game against Leicester tomorrow night down at the King Power Stadium. So Newcastle United, of course, take on Leicester City down at the King Power Stadium tomorrow night. And it's going to be an interesting one. It's going to be 8 o'clock kickoff down at the King Power Stadium, live on Sky Sports, of course. And we're going to be going into this one against the Leicester side, who are absolutely struggling at the moment at home. Looking at Ruud van Nistelrooy's managerial career there so far, out of 17 Premier League games, he has lost 14 out of 17 Premier League games. 2 wins, 1 draw so far in his managerial career at the King Power Stadium. And looking at it, they are a relegation threatened side, 12 points from safety before heading into this game, of course. And their most recent Premier League goal was 670 minutes ago. Quite a long time ago now since they last scored a goal in the Premier League. And their goal drought at home is 0 goals in the last 630 minutes at the King Power Stadium. They have lost 7 in a row. They are on the verge of becoming something that no team wants to be. Leicester are on the verge of 1 home defeat away without scoring away from making, of course, an unwanted English football record of 8 in a row. The first team to do it, of course, if they lose to us tomorrow night down at the King Power Stadium. A lot of Leicester fans are going into this one already writing it off. A lot of them are, wanting to just go and watch the under-21s play instead of watching their first team play. And I'm really looking forward to this one as a Newcastle United fan. I think this is a chance for us to go there and, get the result that we want, which is all 3 points to come away from the King Power Stadium and push on for our chance of getting to the Champions League this season. Of course, and finishing in them Champions League spots. And we're not that far away from it now. We're only 2 points behind fourth pre this match, of course, tomorrow night against Leicester. We've won 14 out of the last 18 games as well against newly promoted sides, with 3 draws and 1 loss, including the last 6 in a row. And we're away strength of 7 Premier League away wins this season, just 1 shy of last season's total of 8. So we've got, it all in our favour going into this one. Looking at the goal scoring side of things, of course, before talking about the team news for each side going into the game, we've got a goal scorer in Alexander Isak, who at the moment, according to Eddie Howe, is going to be a late fitness test on if he'll be available for the game. But I think hopefully, fingers crossed, he will be available for the game. And if he is, then great, because that means we're going to have Alexander Isak up top to put away the chances that is given to him throughout the game. Leicester, on the other hand, have Jamie Vardy, an aging Jamie Vardy, a Vardy that's, you know, a relic of the past in a way, of what he used to be. You know, Vardy's definitely not the Vardy that was seen the last time Leicester were in the Premier League. He has scored goals this season, but you can see, you know, his legs are just not there anymore. He doesn't have that pace there anymore. And that's not being disrespectful, you know, it's just being truthful. At the end of the day, he's a lot older now than what he was when Leicester was last in the Premier League. And also, obviously, Vardy isn't going to be able to contribute as much to the Leicester team going forward as he has done in the past for them. So as long as we can keep, you know, what he can do quiet and watch out for a few other players in the game, then I think, you know, we've got every chance of coming away from the King Power Stadium with the result that we want. Looking at his record as well, Vardy against, where in the past he could have a chance of ending the goal drought for Leicester, being that the last 3 goals he scored came after half time, but he has scored 3 out of the last 4 versus Newcastle post half time. So he does have a knack for scoring against us, but like I say, if we can keep him quiet, then we can come away from this game with the positive result that we want to see going into it, of course. And looking at the team news on our side, of course, going into this, Sven Botman, Lewis Hall and Jamal Lascelles all still remain unavailable. However, Anthony Gordon is back after suspension, after picking up that red card, which in my eyes really shouldn't have been a red card, to be honest. For the one against Brighton in the FA Cup, it really shouldn't have been a red card, but he's back now. He's back after that suspension, and this will be, of course, if he is fit, because again, there is, you know, doubts hanging over Gordon's fitness as well, with him having some bruising on his thigh after his call up to the England setup, of course, in the midweek when we were, you know, away on international duty. But if he is available, then Gordon will play, I believe. But Harvey Barnes has been doing really well down there as well, so, you know, we'll have to wait and see when the lineups come out if Eddie Howe has decided to go with Gordon if he is fit, or if he's just decided to go with Harvey Barnes returning back to the old kicking ground at King Power Stadium. And then, of course, there's doubt over Joe Linton and Kieran Trippier as well. But again, you know, late fitness doubts for them ones. And then disciplinary concerns, of course, if Joe Linton does play. He is 1 booking away from 2-match suspension, so he will have to be very careful with his tackling. And Dan Burn as well is 2 bookings away from the same fate, so again, have to be very, very careful with his tackling in the game. But like I say, it's going to be a really interesting game against Leicester down at the King Power Stadium. Leicester are really struggling at the moment. They've got a very big chance that this could be yet another defeat for Leicester. And of course, one that they don't want, which would make them an unwanted English football history maker of 8 in a row without scoring at home. So that's not a good record to be having on your club, but there could be a possibility come the final whistle tomorrow night down at the King Power Stadium. Looking at, of course, Isak's scoring this season as well. 8 goals in the last 6 Premier League games versus relegation teams, and 5 of those goals in his last 2 such matches as well. And looking at it as well, Newcastle conceded 14 out of our 21 away league goals this season before half-time. So as long as we can keep it tight in the defence, but also, you know, push forward, get that pressing going, get that attacking going, I think we will come away from the King Power Stadium with the positive result that we want, which is to get higher up and into them European places. Of course, let's not forget, 5th place in the league is actually going to be a Champions League spot as well, and at the moment we are doing quite well in that regard. But let us know your thoughts anyway down in the comments below. Any Leicester fans that are watching, Let us know what you think going into this game. Are you in the same boat as the rest of the Leicester fans that I've seen so far, saying that they'd rather not turn up because they think it's going to be an absolute humping? Or are you going to be in the other side of the fence and, you know, support your lads, get behind your lads, and, you know, see what happens on the night? At the end of the day, football is a funny old game, but I do think this could be a sort of repeat of what we've seen last season. I believe it was when we took on Sheffield United. I think it could be something along them lines. It could be a pretty high scoring game for Newcastle, and we could come away with a pretty good positive result. I'd happily take just a 1-0 and move on, because at the end of the day, it doesn't matter if it's 1-0, 2-0, 3-0. You know, you still get 3 points at the end of the day. And I wouldn't want to be pushing too much into the game, scoring multiples of goals when we don't need to. At the end of the day, we need to reserve our energy. We need to keep our energy going, because we've still got quite a few games over other teams that is left to play, and you know, we want to try and reserve our energy a little bit there as well. Till next time, remember to like, share, subscribe to the channel, and how are the lads?